So, there's no opening music or anything, is there?
Oh, wait, Jason, you want to play the intro music? That's real quiet.
Yeah, this is sick.
Let's play this guy. Whoa!
There we go.
Yeah.
That's some bass.
That was my voice, right?
Wait, was that really your voice?
Yeah, that's me.
I didn't know that.
Episode 1, you didn't know that?
No. 20.
25-ish?
25. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first Hot Button Live.
Clap, you degenerates!
Right here from the Volume Cafe in scenic Turnersville, New Jersey.
Love it.
So our discussions here in Hot Button lately have been kind of serious, like school shootings and government intervention and all that fun stuff. So what do you guys say that today instead we talk about something stupid?
No. More school shootings.
So
Isolate that clip for me, Jason, please. I got some plans.
for those maybe listening later who don't know who we are, I'm Randall Beatrice, and this is Chris Anatuano, and this is Austin Blakesley. I switched it up and did it.
Yeah, you did it backwards.
I did.
I'm thrown off now.
Yeah.
I can't do the rest. I quit.
And this is going to be our episode on video games special editions.
Wait, how's everybody feel? How you guys feeling?
Yeah, how is the...
Not you. Told me you guys.
Oh, okay.
Fuck them.
Me? Fine. Nervous.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Great.
There's not a single person better looking than you in the crowd, except for Conroy
everyone
and Chris
else.
and Phil and Struce. Dom's got you on the beard, I guess. Max is pretty good.
Pretty much everyone here. So this is special editions, or I guess collector's editions or limited editions, whatever dumb bullshit edition that some of you companies out there have done, whatever you want to call it. I think Evolve had one called PC Monster Race, which was absolutely the worst name for an edition I've ever heard.
Yo, the Evolve alt-right monster pack.
I mean, whatever. The history's vindicated us because nobody cares about Evolve anymore. That game is... How many people are playing that, you think, on Steam right now?
I play it every day.
Yeah? So we brought this up a while back and thought that this would maybe be a fun way to break things up a little bit and read off just some of the most bonkers versions of some popular games of the past couple generations. And of course, dive into them as best we can. Remote control drones, anime body pillows, mini fridges. Forget soundtracks and art books. Forget figurines. This is going to be the most ridiculous stuff over the years that have made it into people's hands. And names of their favorite titles, some of which may or may not have been entirely moral or legal. So
Yeah, I love some illegal shit.
yeah, so that'll be fun. So let me ask you guys this: what was your first experience with a special edition of a game? Do you remember?
I bought the cat helmet for Halo 3.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
that was a big one.
Really?
Yeah.
the
and then I hollowed
legendary
it out
edition.
and put it on my cat.
There's no way that shit fell on his head. You guys,
Don't worry, there's pictures of that too. It's gonna be good.
I'm assuming that'll come up.
It will, because I
Okay.
tried diving back a bit, and definitely seems like in my research that even the idea of many of these things that we're going to get into today is a relatively newer invention when you think about just how long games in the home have been around.
well, all right. I guess
Grand
fuck
scheme of
me in
things.
my introduction to special editions.
You didn't say anything. What was it?
Diablo 2. That sweet special edition.
That's kind of amazing that you got your hands on that.
yeah.
Back then.
Me and my cousin were Diablo 2 fucking fanatics.
Do you remember how much that cost?
I have no idea.
No?
An absurd amount of money.
You didn't throw money together.
Yeah, we did a lot of horrible shit. We used to go to Target and open. I remember we got Counter-Strike Condition Zero from going to Target and just stealing a CD key out of the box and then putting it back on the shelf and
might
then
be
downloading the game.
There might be some members in our audience who may have done that with WoW cards. I'm not going to say
I
who.
bought the first Counter-Strike by going to the mall and asking 15 people for $1 because it costs $14.99.
Wait, that worked?
Yeah.
How
yeah.
old were you?
I don't know. Fucking,
You were literally
it was like
panhandling?
1999, so I was a fucking child. Yeah.
Hanging outside of Walmart's. So, what's funny is, I mean, now it's kind of normalized, nowadays, it pretty much feels like every fucking release has a bunch of different versions and SKUs hitting the shelves, regardless of, the anticipation for the game.
Yeah.
Anything to get a little extra penny from the hardcore consumers into collecting, which myself included sometimes. It's pretty shameless, but it wasn't always that way. My first experience is actually back in 2007 with the first BioShock. The one that came with the little Big Daddy statuette. which I think I still have it somewhere. I don't remember. I don't know if anybody remembers this because this was actually even before Halo 3, which came out later that year. It was 2007.
All right, I remember this.
Yeah, you remember that
box.
There were 3 separate editions for that game, each more expensive than the last, with the top, of course, being that legendary cat helmet.
Hell yeah.
Right there, that Austin
Who's got
brought
this?
I still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah.
It's in my room. It's covered by dirty laundry.
So it's funny is like this originally retailed for $129.
Is that the
2007
Ghostbusters
money?
thing?
What?
That thing right here. This thing.
What's funny is if you were to sell your edition on eBay right now, it's going for like twice that.
Do I have to dust it?
I mean, you might when you take pictures. I don't know.
Oh, that's a no-go.
Yeah, no.
No, it's cat
It's
sized.
like this big. Like it's pretty.
Did
funny.
Master Chief ever take off her helmet? Wait, that was Castlevania. Wait, no.
No, Master Chief took off his helmet in the shitty ending of Halo 4.
What did he look like? I don't remember.
Like an
I
army
beat that.
dude.
Oh, all right.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Did I completely miss that?
I beat that game and I don't remember. But this silly plan worked out for Microsoft really well because not only I found that special edition sold super well, but every publisher out there thought that they could do the same thing, and boy did they ever. Like days of charging a tab more for like a Steel Harbor case were starting to seem quaint compared to like the beefier edition that makes up that's just like made up of cheap plastic goods. Everybody has probably
Who else
seen
made a
it at some
helmet?
point. Who else made it? There's quite a few helmets out there. We'll get into one later that came out this year, and that's a pretty good story. So like if you go back, like Call of Duty 1, Metal Gear Solid, like a lot of them had like DVD extras. They were like making ofs and shit like that.
Come with an eye patch.
It should have come with Iron Patch. That would have been way better. But a lot of this shit's old news.
Not dark enough for you? Does it come with a tsunami survival kit? Is that gonna last? Jesus.
So we're gonna talk about shit that's gonna hog up some shelves, like closets, drawers, whatever there's a market for. Which brings us to our list today. And notice I say list and not timeline because I came to the conclusion that would be way more of a good time to go through everything and organize it by price rather than date.
All right, so you're starting from the bottom?
I'm starting from the bottom. So I found the 15 craziest things I could, and I organized them by price, with the most expensive version being last.
All right, long setup joke. Starting from the bottom. Now continue. I'll get back at you guys when we're done.
So yeah, we're gonna save the most epic for last. Now these aren't necessarily just all the most expensive editions ever made. That list would be boring because there's a lot of shit out there. But these are, in my opinion, what I thought the craziest ones. Yeah. So save your responses where I forgot some game that was bundled with some like super overpriced vinyl or something, which I'm attacking myself, by the way, because I like. Because I love video game records. I do. And it's funny. We had a podcast last week. We were talking about criticism, and we were talking about like self-awareness and like. And the funny thing is, it's like I completely understand when you're the mark for something. Like So it's like kind of knowing what, your place in this stuff.
Like if this special edition came with like a cassette and somebody that would just listen to you talk and not interrupt you for 4 hours.
I bought special edition cassettes before. To be putting towards why you like something,
There's a special edition of Oxenfree that came in a cooler.
I have that in here. Yeah.
With a can of soda. Well, and I think a cassette, right?
No, well, here's the thing. It was. I'll get to it, but it wasn't soda overseas, which is why I wanted it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like what I'm basically saying is that I reserve the right to still say that this is a lot of dumb stuff, and a lot of the stuff I've like, and I don't own a lot of it, but some of it I have. We both have that Call of Duty mini fridge. Mine broke.
That's the last one I bought. Mine still works.
But
I don't have drunk people tearing it open every weekend. No offense to those present.
Oh, I've definitely knocked that thing over.
Now, also for the record, I am aware that this whole concept certainly wasn't founded in 2007, but this was definitely where the craze in like really began, in my opinion, with just seeing the pattern in my research. GameStop obviously being the biggest proponent of this shit.
Notorious failing company, GameStop.
They're not doing so great right now, I don't think.
I think their profits are down like $263 million this year.
Whoa, really?
600 now? Whoa.
Yo, any former GameStop employees represent?
Saying that though, I do still have a couple things that predate the trend on my list. I'm more just saying that this was around the 7th generation that the stuff really started to take off. So we're gonna get into rules here a little bit. So, and it's funny because Well, there are rules for the list, and I'll get into that in a moment. But like I said, I know that this stuff didn't start at Halo. I am going to talk about stuff before that. In 2004, Half-Life 2 had a limited edition that came with a T-shirt, and this is the thing that I thought was super funny. The T-shirt was exclusively a men's XL. It didn't matter who you were if you bought the special edition of that game.
So Gabe just pulled it out of his closet and sent it, packed it with the special edition.
Gabe wishes he was just an XL.
Yeah, who would wear an XL shirt, right, guys?
No, that wasn't. Either way, if you were small or a lady or somebody who was a Half-Life fan, you're out. You're out of luck, I guess. Here. Prior to that, tons of other PC games, mostly competitive shooters and online MMOs, come with making gloves and stuff. Like Chris mentioned, the Diablo one. This was a
look at
huge
this!
one.
I remember this fucking sheets for the characters, dude.
I think
so
there was even
cool.
another version of this that came with like the staff like signed it, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that.
There was a version of Rainbow Six that came with a special mouse pad. I could not for the life of me find pictures of it. And then there are stranger attempts. Rockstar's Bully had a version of the game that came with a dodgeball. I thought that was pretty good.
All right.
Nintendo did that Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition thing.
Do you remember
to
Rockstar
promote
put out
Wind
that
Waker.
they sold a AK-47 with Grand Theft Auto 4? That was sick.
Maybe, yeah, I would have bought. I think GTA 4's one was like a big ass.
I have that. It came in a duffel bag, and it came with
a
a bank lockbox. Yeah.
What are you keeping it?
Whatever came in it. I lost the key.
It's full of
But
cum.
none of these things, as you said, compared to the cat helmet. So this is definitely this poor cat. I know. I apologize.
That's a regular occurrence in my house.
I did not do that to my cat. I was just like everybody did. I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
This is mostly going to be about bundles that broke the or near the $100 mark, and then some that broke way beyond that for their goods, with some exceptions. But list rules here, and for which there are only 3. Number 1, no contests. So sorry to Uncharted 2's Dagger Fortune Hunter Edition. It's pretty rad.
Was that a contest?
You can only get it in a contest, and it was the same with this. There was a game called Elementor Gearbolt that came with a box set of a gold pistol, like a gold-plated PS2 light gun.
That's insane.
Which is pretty good. But
an island, if you want to go back and listen to a previous episode. The island that came with Just Cause 3.
Yeah,
or a
exactly.
lifetime supply of Sobe Life Water.
all right, so second rule, the game must be packaged with it. So that's a no to those cool like Wolfenstein ones. That did not come with a copy of the game.
Or a giant swastika flag.
And no to the ones that came with the weird ass controllers, like the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller.
I remember that.
Yeah, Onimusha 3 had a sword controller on the PS2, and then none of that bullshit like fishing rod and trash Wiimote add-ons. None of that
love
stuff that were sold by themselves. A special apology, of course, to the Wu-Tang PS1 controller. So that's the special kind of like. I would be remiss if that was not in there. Typing of death, yeah. So you could use that keyboard, I think, for other things in case you were playing Phantasy Star Online on or whatever on the Dreamcast. So that's. Play Smash. that's that GameCube one. That thing's great. So and third rule, I'm leaving stuff off the list where a specific peripheral is required in order to play it, making no other edition of the game like available.
Oh, Rock Band, I heard of that.
So that's a no to crappy things like Tony Hawk Ride,
Rock
or
Band, trash game,
dope
Tony Hawk,
things like
trash.
Steel Battalion, and I'll fight you if you can. This thing
intense.
was wild.
That looks awesome.
So yeah, none of that stuff matters. That saying, there will still be some controllers talked about on the list, but it's got to be an optional bundle. Extra add-ons for the super rich or weirdo fans, whatever that stuff. In the true spirit of the conversation here, anyway. So without further waiting, here's the list, and we're gonna start off small, stupid, and then get big stupid.
All right.
Essentially. So the list actually, and I guess I cheated because I do have an honorable mention. I'm going to begin this with a recall because those are always fun. Now, like special editions of some titles have been canceled before, either due to lack of interest or unforeseen circumstances. Around quality, they had like a Batman Arkham Knight Batmobile bundle that apparently sucked. Apparently just the sculpt of it was real fucking bad, so they canceled it. But this one is way better. So I'm sending an honorary mention out to the Godfather 2 video game, where Electronic Arts sent out actual real brass knuckles to the press in a special edition that was set to be announced as part of like a promotion. Turns out that even possessing those is very illegal.
In plenty of places.
In almost all parts of the country, including California, where EA is located, where they're based out of. So you don't even need sales in the equation. Just simply shipping those things out the way that they did is classified as a Class 1 misdemeanor.
What in the fuck?
So same as
That
the
reminds me of
ownership of a concealed weapon like a blackjack or butterfly knives.
Yeah, like the other GTA 4 special edition where you get a shipping container full of dead Russian prostitutes. Do you remember that one?
So luckily, although unfortunately, these never hit the public market in any way, and representatives from the company were forced to contact everyone in games writing that received one to request that they be returned back or properly disposed of.
Yeah, come and get them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure plenty of people did not send them back. EA has never officially commented beyond that about the legal action taken against them and declined to answer questions about it since.
We're too busy tanking all our IPs to get back to you.
But funny side note, Take-Two once got away with doing the exact same thing a few years ago with press outlets sending out an official Grand Theft Auto 3 baseball bats, not illegal, and brass knuckles, except as you see in this photo, they were attached to a coffee mug, making it perfectly fine. That's how they got away with it.
Do you remember when Watch Dogs had sent people ticking safes?
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, I want to cover that on
They're
a PR
like,
disaster.
something's coming, and then it was just a box with a combination and just
box.
ticking in it.
Yeah.
And everybody, like 5 outlets just called the bomb squad immediately.
The best is one of them, I think they actually they disposed of it and they blew it up, and then when they were shifting through it afterwards, they found the disc of the game.
Oh, don't worry, we didn't lose anything important.
Yeah.
All right, so
'Cause the
15
game was
entries,
trash.
and
This fucking trash game.
I did group. Watch Dogs 2 is pretty good. I'm telling you.
Well,
Although
alright.
I did group a bunch of these
All
together
right.
into categories. First in the beginning, so you'll see why in our presentation here. It'll make sense. And I know that this isn't a top 10. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. It's 15. So
All right.
I did not approve of this
Whoa, all
decision.
right, weird,
Yeah.
weird flex, but all right.
Only numbers ending in 0.
These are also all these are all over the fucking place in terms of actual quality. So I'm not making fun of anybody here who wanted to get one of these or have one.
But if you have one, you're a fucking idiot.
Hell, I had to go out of the country to get my damn Hotline Miami special edition, which came with a cassette tape. It came with that sweet.
That's the
mixtape.
one you bought with a cassette tape.
I did. It had a comic book in
Yeah.
it too. It's pretty rad. And then, as Austin mentioned, that Oxenfree one. So if you bought it in other countries in Europe and Australia, it came with a 6-pack of beer. So, but in the United States, they had to be all lame, and it came with soda pop.
That picture's photoshopped.
You don't think that?
No,
it's not sitting on that
absolutely
beach.
not. No, it's not.
So make fun of people. Us all you want is what I'm saying. All right. So number 15.
That's just a regular cooler.
I know I'm like burying the lead, but here we go. The first game on here is Stranglehold Collector's Edition. So we're gonna start off pretty low price here in the category cheap add-ons. There's tons of games out there that I mentioned before that came with lame like DVD stuff back before things got like just all included digitally. I almost wanted to put the Fable 2 Collector's Edition. Simply for the fact that the original promise of that package came with like tarot cards, a bobblehead, and all this shit. And
I
then
remember the tarot cards.
yeah, guess what happened?
Yeah.
It got scrapped last minute. Didn't come with anything. They kept
Yeah.
the same. They kept the same price, but all you got were those DVDs and nothing else. But Stranglehold was interesting. So, came into view by announcing something fucking awesome.
Wait, so you get a child and a shotgun?
And then they fucked it up so badly. So retailed for only $10 more. It was $69.99. Go ahead, make your 69 jokes. Nobody.
Oh yeah, that's a sex number.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
This version came
Wow.
bundled with a Blu-ray disc featuring, for the first time ever, a full high-definition remaster of the classic Hong Kong action film Hard Boiled, which is a pretty fucking rad movie.
That baby is 50 years old. Look at its face.
And this was actually apparently like I don't know if any of you guys played Stranglehold. It's the prequel to the game itself. It stars Cho Yun Fat as the Inspector Tequila.
Yeah, you
I
can
think that
shoot
was his
people in
name.
the nuts in slow motion.
You can. It's pretty great. This is even pre-Sniper Elite that you can do that stuff.
Yep.
So except here's the funny thing. It sounds pretty cool. If you're a 360 owner, though, it was the same price, but you didn't
Yeah, I
get
had several.
You didn't get that because it was a Blu-ray. So you never got. It was the same price for both versions, but if you were on 360, you just didn't get Hard Boiled at all. But it must feel good to be a PS3 user here, except for whatever reason that HD remaster, that was not HD at all. The special PS3 Blu-ray outputted in the MPEG 2 at 720 by 480.
Hell yeah.
So and they literally burned it onto a Blu-ray disc, and it was not.
Check out this sick technology we're not implementing.
Making it look exactly the same as that already released DVD copy of it that you could get for $2.
That guy, I don't like this guy's face. My point of the guy in the black.
And what is it? But luckily, a high definition launch of the movie on Blu-ray officially came out 2 years later.
Oh, thankfully.
Yeah, so you're all saved there. So number 14,
the action sequences are among the greatest ever filmed.
It's true. You know in that it's,
period.
So you know in that scene when he's holding that baby, and I can't believe not enough people have seen this movie because it's fantastic. There's a famous shot. All right, you know what? I'll sum it up in a way people maybe would know. Anybody see that show? What was it, Dark Place? Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he's running away from exploding ambulance holding a baby? That's taken exactly from the movie, except in Hard Boiled, it's like legitimate. Like, but. Yeah, they had to get that take just right. All right, so I'm going to do this one quick, and not just because it was sold at the same price as our last entry. I know, sorry, the first two were a tie. But no, the real reason, honestly, is because it makes me angry, and those of you close to me will definitely know why. Now a bunch of
I'm excited.
Yeah, now there are a bunch of there are a bunch of entries in games before that have done collectible card things packaged into game bundles before. Most of these are totally fine. Like it makes sense. They're from titles you would expect. Pokemon,
I just got like a weird
games.
spinal fluid fucking flashback when that image came up.
So yeah, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, this is fine. The mystery.
Is anybody just like in a car right now? Like, the streetlights come back.
The mystery of getting some cards for your library works here because most of those are already part of a successful thing outside the game itself. Plus, they're actually usable in that scene, so getting things like doubles are never usually a big deal. Save that for 2005's Perfect Dark Zero.
This
Hell
game,
yeah, hell
10
of a game.
out of 10.
10
This
out of
fucking
10.
game, dude.
An absolute suck-ass sequel to
What?
the beloved Nintendo 64 classic, where Rare and Microsoft thought that a good idea to the already being cheated fans was to include collectible cards in their limited collector's edition.
This game is so good, dude.
So that's right. Prior to the craze, they were already hungry. In this, you got this metal pack case, whatever, bonus DVD, and a paperback comic book, and these like glyph cards, I think are what they called them. And there were one of 9, with each limited edition only being packaged with one at random. Meaning that if you wanted to own all of them, you had to buy the edition multiple times and hope that you didn't get a duplicate.
Sell that at GameStop for $2.
Do you think it still had the card inside?
No way.
Yeah, that guy was off to collect the
it
rest
just
of
has
them.
a bunch of shit cleaned off it from someone took a dump on the game after playing it.
Did anybody play this game more than just an hour? Like the
we
the
did.
multiplayer mode against the bots, like just throwing in like swords and that weird ninja star
You
device.
can also cheat that game in multiplayer by continuously rolling.
Oh yeah.
Which everybody online did, which was pretty funny. All right, so our next entry here is going to fall in this series, and this is where we're going to start to categorize things, and this is where it's actually going to get really fun. So the first category I'm going to make fun of is just
Thank fuck.
unusable things. And while I'd like to make fun of the plastic-mounted Batarang and Batman Arkham Asylum,
I heard that was high
Why?
quality.
Guys with Jeeps and Batman stickers on the back around the world are rejoicing with this fucking
and
thing.
this it kind of put into this would also be Call of Duty World at War Special Edition, where it came with an undrinkable and like a canteen. It was like you couldn't.
Because like the radiation.
It was literally
because it
sealed
took place
shut.
in the Pacific.
But don't worry, Call of
We
Duty's
dropped
gonna
2
come up again.
nuclear weapons on Japan at the end of World War II.
yeah,
I remember that.
Yes.
But don't worry, that franchise is going to come back multiple
What,
times.
World Wars? Fuck.
The franchise of World Wars. But no, the worst offender of this by far is going to be Splinter Cell Conviction. It's kind of a rad game otherwise, so I'm not even trying to dump on this game. But while the previous 2 may have been conceptually poor
Is that
ideas...
the Washington Monument background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I never played it. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
asking.
this was just a botched fucking job, pretty much. This game came in. There were like 4 goddamn versions of this game. They had standard, special collectors, and limited collectors, and I don't know, pretty much all just buzzwords for the day. But the only one of those that's going to matter here is the United States and Canadian exclusive collector's edition. which is this thing here.
Wait, first of all, go back one. I like that this is just an action figure of just like
a dude with
the
a
guy
gun.
from Lost with a pistol. What is that?
You could have told me that was for 24 the game, and I believe you. I really don't know. So this one's kind of funny. So this was this cost $80, so we're getting only a little bit higher, and it came with all the stuff, a steelbook case. I know Austin loves those. Comic book, an art book, decals, and a special little custom USB drive that was shaped like a credit card, which I thought was kind of a crazy thing, designed to fit in your wallet. Yeah,
They have those.
Why
They
are you
do.
looking at me? I don't even have a wallet.
That's what the ad said. On the drive, it was preloaded with a bunch of special features that no one cares about, like wallpapers and making ofs and more art and some stuff like that. It seemed like a pretty all right for what you were paying, but the biggest problem was that the drives were all busted. Due to the unique design, we may never know because I don't think Ubisoft ever actually, they just said they don't have this information when people asked them about it. But the news of this got out before the thing officially was at retailers, so their response was to sell it anyway. Just tell people ahead of time that, like, hey, these might are not work at all, and also don't use them. Like, whatever you do not actually plug them into your computer. And it's, I think conceptually it's kind of cool, but yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's stupid that it's branded of a game, but imagine if USB drives were all like flat credit cards. So these things were already manufactured. So in their defense, at least, they did drop the price. Oh, they did actually drop the price by $10, and they put all the features and the drive up on the game's website to download for free instead, which is, I guess, a totally admirable and answer to a silly problem. But this is a category I think you're all going to be waiting for. Another round of next.
All right.
Sorry, I know I'm shooting through these. But
yeah.
I just want to get to the fun shit.
Yeah, take a deep breath. We'll all wait.
Cool off.
I was joking. I was
in through
totally
the nose,
joking.
Hold it out through the mouth.
All right. This is the one I'm going to linger on. The next category is pervy games.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Special guest, our friend from the crowd, Phil. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You all like anime, you idiots.
Sorry, I'm going to slow it down a bit because I just wanted to get through that stuff. This is going to be funny. So, for which there are a lot of these. So, thank you, Japan. There are.
That's racist? I want to say that's racist.
You put a question on the end of it.
I don't care.
So narrowing it down in this category, which, by the way, my roommate at one point, who's not here, came downstairs while I was researching this stuff with headphones on, and I had multiple windows up on my computer of all this different, naked anime girls.
Sure, research.
But, I'm kidding. But, I'm not kidding about that. That was it. But here's what I got. So what do you guys say? Well, we're going to break that $100 mark and get into some of the juicy stuff.
Ugh, gross. Come on, man.
It's convenient that this
say
is this
pervy
is
and then say the word juicy.
So interestingly enough, the first title here is not actually perverted at all.
Well, I was gonna say it's convenient that this is number 12 on your list, which is the exact age of the people being sexualized on this game disc.
So the funniest thing is this first title is going to seem weird because it's not overtly sexual until you see the peripheral that was included in the bundle.
Oh, is this the one? Is this the one I recommended when you pitched this topic?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm talking about Rez.
Oh no, this isn't the one I pitched. I know what it is though.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So Rez is, I don't know, not a lot of people play this. It's a super cool neon music rhythm rail shooter that premiered on the Sega Dreamcast, and then I think more importantly later for this on the PS2. And you'll see why in a second. So the game itself is totally appropriate to play for all ages, eat for everyone. But that PlayStation 2 re-release got a little sexy edition for those that wanted to shell out the...
How could this get any sexier? Look at this.
The extra bucks. And I'm talking, of course, this is a real peripheral called the Trans Vibrator Controller. Yeah. Which is pretty much exactly what you think it would be. It's a smooth computer mouse-sized peripheral that, when plugged in, pulses in time with the music in the game. The director, who...
I'm for this 100%.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I'm not really against this.
The director,
it's kind of awesome.
The director of this game is pretty cool. I'm going to butcher his name. Do you want to try?
Tetsuya Mizuguchi.
Yes. Whom I love his games
Racist,
dearly.
dude.
I said it right.
So he stated that he simply wanted to help enhance the player's experience of synesthesia with real haptic feedback through the power of touch. That was the pitch for this thing. Well,
Yo, throw this on your taint, play this game.
the intended use of this device was, in his words, was to hold it, put it in your pocket, on top of your feet. That's what he said he liked to do. Or sit on it.
I bet he fucking likes it.
Or you sit it.
Yeah, you can sit on it.
Yeah, you put it under your butt. And here's the funniest thing is in this box, a pouch was even provided to protect the device. Just to have a little...
Keep it clean.
From your
also,
semen.
Side note, if you can't afford the trans vibrator, just play Halo 1 with the Duke controller, get in the back of a warthog, and hold the R button. Same thing.
Just driving around in circles.
Little life hack for you all. Yeah.
Now that being said, it could absolutely be used as a sex toy. Obviously, there are channels of people who on YouTube who have done that.
On YouTube? Pornography on YouTube?
The camera is not... They don't get explicit with it, but this led to quite the following.
There's children on there.
Show me cooming, but not show me.
Yeah.
Yo,
like
be honest. Who
hysterical
in the
literature.
crowd looked up Roblox pornography?
So here's the funny thing: is like this device actually, like, there are some passionate fans out there that got so into this thing that they reverse engineered the accessory so it could be used on PC years later when the game was ported there.
Yeah,
on Steam.
real big fans of this thing.
People are gross.
The entire concept, by the way, also found in his future games like Lumines, and also in my personal favorite, Tetris Effect.
You're telling me you've been jerking off while playing Tetris Effect?
Yeah, and he's still really good at it. It's not fair.
You can connect 3 other controllers and have 4 controllers all vibrating in different layers of the music while you're playing this game.
So wait, speak slower. Where do you
How's
put him?
that T-spin feels? But that's still too innocuous to win this category. So we got to get into the weeb shit for that. Which brings us...
That is offensive, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being the PC police today.
You're killing me. So this is going to bring us to a game that I didn't hear of because I looked this up called Record of Agarist War, which isn't... Look at that image.
I've never heard of it.
What do you guys think this game is?
Nobody's over 14, first of all.
Would you say that it was a tactical role-playing game with dating sim elements?
Yes, absolutely.
It honestly looks like it.
I just saw the name of the limited fucking...
The edition of this game that was sold on 360 and PS3 was called the Really Naughty Edition.
Really naughty.
It's now... I'll get to this. This game came with a booby mouse pad, and despite being a console game, it came with an extra DVD footage of the girls in the game all doing embarrassing things like eating sausages.
Why is it not so wet?
Shit. I know this is a really hilarious image to leave this on, but something just went wrong with our pictures. Because it's skipping the edition that it's called and went right to that sausage picture.
Oh.
Close your eyes.
Hold on.
What a fucked up picture. This is what you get for having feudalism for 4,000 years and then immediately going to producing VHS for the U.S. Like, you do have no in-between to develop your culture. Like, they just, like... They jumped right into oppression.
That's that booby mouse pad, by the way, I'm talking about.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get closer and see this poster. Oh, hell yeah.
There's a poster like this hanging on Phil's wall in his bedroom. I know it. Wait, are we still in the off time? We edited this out?
Because like, that sausage reveal was gonna kill it, and instead it just launched that right in your face.
I think it still killed it.
It still speaks for itself.
It upset me.
Yeah.
I'm very upset.
But here's the thing: talking about this game for the last 5 minutes, none of this holds a candle to the Galgun series.
This makes me
The
uncomfortable.
Galgun titles. So
Chris, how old are they?
I'm done with it. I'm done.
too easy. So wait, I'm curious. Do you know the Galgun games?
No.
All right, so These are a series of Japanese rail shooter games where you take the role of a male student who shoots his female classmates with a pheromone arrow to prevent himself from falling in love with them all. Guys, got that?
Wait, isn't that what pheromones are supposed to do, though?
What a fucking stallion! He's got love for them all. You gotta shoot him down so he can live.
That's literally the plot of those games, and there's multiple of them. In case it kept going. But one of the sequels, the third one, despite having 2 in the name, came with an edition called the Free Hugs Edition.
That doesn't look like hugging.
And this came with
an art book. Yeah.
This came with a double-sided gaming accessory pouch that featuring one of the game's ladies on them that, according to the game's official press release, you can, quote, put whatever you want inside.
I don't have to say it. It's your penis, obviously.
Oh, not burying the lead on that one, huh?
But not to be outdone by itself, years prior, the winner of this category, hands down, is its predecessor, Galgun Double Peace, and its Mr. Happiness Edition. And so, for $100, 100 smackers, plus tax and shipping, you can get that stupid game, bonus risque costume DLC, an art book, a CD soundtrack sampler, a wall scroll of your favorite ladies, and an official screen cleaner.
Can I tap? Is that the screen cleaner?
That's the screen cleaner.
All right, just wanted to be sure.
Obviously, translation, panties.
It wasn't even used? They weren't even used?
So that's right, for which the implications of this will continue to haunt my nightmares. Also,
You clean your screen with it. That's the implication.
After what?
After you get your fingerprints on it. And other bodily
This
oils.
version, by the way, if
Yes,
anybody wants
your-
to go on eBay,
Your penis fingerprints.
Mushroom stamps. I'm sorry.
the version of this game still very much in high demand, by the way.
Really?
The price has gone up quite a bit since launch. And if anybody wants to look further into this title, one of the other things it was famous for, that on Steam there's a $99 DLC that that makes all the clothes transparent of all of the women in the game.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's $100 downloadable content for that game. Did you say double DLC? I thought that was your joke.
You could share Steam libraries if everybody wants to.
Yeah, everybody come give me $5.
But yeah, so thank you, Japan.
Still racist.
Yes.
Can you wear the screen cleaner? Is that those actually?
I don't know how big it is.
You can put it on your cat after you put the Halo helmet on it.
So now that keep it all in your pants because we're done with pervy games.
So you bought this while you're researching?
I don't have that kind of money.
That's a weird excuse, but all right.
If it doesn't have a cassette tape, no buy. So we're gonna with that out of the way, we're going into statues. It's time to talk about them.
Admittedly, not as hot as the last few images.
You're telling me that ain't doing it for you? He doesn't have pants on. You can put the panties on him, maybe.
You can buy these blood and flesh-soaked panties.
Chris, just think about what he could do with them shoulder-mounted cannons.
Most of the ones I've seen have been pretty crappy. There are very few exceptions to this rule, considering that the price a lot of these cost. That big Skyrim Dragon one sucks. I'm sorry, everybody. I know a lot of people bought that thing.
Just like the game.
It's hollow plastic bullshit. Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to boo me.
You're gonna get your like.
Oblivion is better. You drag me out kicking and screaming if you want.
World's best.
Yo, hot take. Fallout 4, best Bethesda game. I'm just joking. Please don't attack
best
me.
Bethesda game. So that Overwatch one of Soldier 76, that wasn't even colored or painted.
What's with the Dutch angle in this picture?
I don't know.
Why is that guy wearing a glove?
He didn't want to get fingerprints.
It's making
on
me
his...
uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, he needs
it's
a-
not.
he
It's
needs
not
that
the fucking Stanley Cup. It's a dad
He needs that
figure.
special edition screen wiper if he's gonna handle
to
this.
wipe down your statuette.
Carrying it by the leg.
I don't know.
Oh, time out. There is a fetish of coming on statues, by the way.
Yes, there is.
That's why he's wearing
It's
that
called hot.
glove.
It's called hot glue videos, as Chelsea was quick to yell out. Yeah. So now that you're all envisioning that, and while I now reveal a whole bunch of statues,
Picture
Yeah,
your
imagine
cum.
coming on all
Picture
of
your
these.
cum on all these statues.
especially this one because the runner-up for this was this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's our second place here. The mutilated, busty bikini lady torso that came with the zombie bait edition of Dead Island
Oh,
Riptide.
zombie bait. Oh.
Yeah, compete with gory wounds and all. A large pack and so
What in the
tasteless.
fuck is this?
So tasteless and misogynistic that publisher Deep Silver had to release a formal apology, which this is what their apology was. Stating that
Includes content that may cause offense. What?
that was what they did. Yeah, so they sincerely apparently regretted the choice that they would be committed to making something that they
Yeah,
said
because
would
their
never
one
happen
customer,
again.
Ted Bundy, has been in jail for 30 years. That's why.
Despite this, it did not get withdrawn from sale. In fact, they made two versions. The American one's got the Stars and Stripes bikini top.
Oh my
Now
god.
we're talking. I come on that. I mean, gross, dude.
While,
Right, hot glue, sorry.
Reminds me of Florida State University, where I first went on my rampage. More Ted Bundy jokes.
Ted Bundy.
While the European market got or buyers, they got that Union Jack.
And you just scroll over and it's just like swastikas and everything.
Whoa, sorry, skip through that one. So
No,
yeah,
for real, fascism is on the rise in Europe. We're just a few short years away.
I just wanted to keep pulling this image back up for you guys multiple over after you're talking about hot glue videos. They're in the special edition. They described this fiberglass bust. Sorry, as this was their quote that said on this edition, an iconic Roman. It's like their take on the Roman marble torso sculpture, and they said it would be.
It's like this. It's like a statue of David, but you can come on it easier.
They said that it would be a. They said it would be a striking conversation piece. Can't argue there.
Oh, hot glue! Like I get it now. Like you squeeze it, it comes out real slow. Nah, I'm just kidding. I got it the whole
It
time.
would have been funnier if you pictured the wholesome version of somebody just holding a hot glue gun over the. But no, this is a good one. I'm going to present to you guys the winner here, and this is the collector's edition of Fear 3, or betterwise known as Fethreer, which came with a steelbook case, a comic book, some in-game weapon, and a 7-inch tall naked pregnant ghost lady of the antagonist character in the series, Alma, featuring a glow-in-the-dark fetus inside of her. So that's right, for $120, $119.99.
You get two statues for the price of one. You get a fetus and a pregnant lady.
You could have the world's ugliest nightlight of a character infamous for raping you at the end of the previous game. That was how Fear 2 ended.
Spoilers, dude.
Why does she have the baby then?
Because she's the woman. Do you not know how it's like? Okay, so when a mommy and a daddy.
All right.
Go on.
And
So,
I don't know how it
Thank
works.
Warner Brothers for that one. By the way, I had to pull up that screenshot, so you're welcome for...
you had to play the game to get here?
Yeah, that's the ending.
Never mind.
Oh, shut up. Oh, yeah, I captured the footage from my... So I don't know what's worse, that or the Duke's head from Duke Nukem Forever in that bundle.
Yeah, that is phenomenal.
Yeah, if you want to remember one of the worst games fucking ever. That is pretty good. Now, as if these ugly-ass statues weren't taking up enough room in your tiny apartment, it's time to bring up ridiculously large things, like just things that taking up space. Now, what's funny here is that I actually kind of think that some of these examples are kind of cool, but it's more about where the fuck would you put them. This 18-inch sculpt of that massive Titan, complete with the 3 pilots and the collectors.
This is
is
awesome.
cool.
You've seen this.
It's undeniably gorgeous.
The guy who tattooed you, didn't you get something from?
Yeah.
Our friend tattoo artist has one of these
It's really
in his
fucking
studio.
rad,
It's awesome.
But like its odd shape would leave homeowners pretty confused on where to stick it. And same with this.
I know where to stick it underneath my penis as I cum on it.
I've got. And same with this like damn near perfect replica of the Baker's house from Resident Evil 7, which I've gotten actually to hold this myself, and boy, it's actually it's heavy. But you really.
I wonder what that looks like during a snowstorm. If you guys know what I mean. All right, I'm done. This is too easy. Can we get away from it?
You're the only one bringing it up. Well, the rest of us stopped.
So it's funny is like you've already got to have a spot in your home reserved for this one, right? And by the way, this is coming from a company that released a blood-scented candle to light around you to make your VR experience even more immersive. I guess.
Snow in front of that house. You know I'm cleaning shit off that shingle.
How do they know what this like blood smells like that?
Blood
I
smells
said,
like
I said
iron.
that the other day, and then Chelsea was pointed out that iron, I guess, is the.
Yeah.
It does have a smell.
Yeah.
Also, the 4th dimension is time, not blood. Just gonna say that.
You take offense to
Yes.
Capcom's.
I don't like the word 4D because it's stupid.
It is pretty
Yeah,
stupid.
4D candle is dumb.
Yeah.
It's for 2 letters.
Well, I think
and a
wasn't
letter
it-
and a number.
General relativity
Stop
was that
correcting me.
blood and space are the same thing, right?
Oh, I have time flowing through my veins. Whoa.
But you know what's heavier than that house? A locker. What? So, and this was the anniversary edition of NBA 2K10.
Comes with a poster of a rapist. Sorry.
I did not notice.
It's fine. Kobe Bryant is not a good guy. Great
Yeah.
basketball player, though.
So you could get your very own mini locker, complete with built-in shelves for your games, and a metal padlock to keep your little siblings
Wow,
out of your
it's
stash or
huge.
whatever.
Yeah. Was this different from the NBA 2K9 series where they trick impoverished kids into thinking they become athletes and get them out of school and then ruin their entire lives and then
That's
they'll
every
get
year.
drafted to the NBA and then
How much does that edition cost?
yes. What's
But then again, both of these still too small. This is small pickings. So the winner of this category, by sheer power of size, goes to the Ultimate Loot Chest Borderlands 2 Limited Edition
Oh God.
for $150.
That's not a bad price for
it's
all
really
that
not
shit.
for all the shit in here.
I don't want any of it, but
You get-
that's not a bad price.
I've
get,
seen one of these chests. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
one
In the
person?
wild?
Yeah.
No, this shit was hard to find.
Doesn't Alfred have this?
They're only like this
I think
big.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're only like this big.
Yeah. I mean, that picture is just
Alfred's room is just his bed, and then
then
this,
this.
and then the Resident Evil,
Evil House
house.
because he does have that. So yeah, you got artwork, postcards, a comic book, field notes. I don't know what that means. Some stickers, cloth map, a book, an ID chart, a steel case, the game, a bobblehead in its own box, partridge in a pear tree, all inside of this big loot box with a certificate of authenticity. And
In case you made all this yourself and are tricking somebody.
it may not be big enough to sit on, but boy does it hold the record for the largest non-console game bundle that was mass-produced, beating out 2018's Black Ops 2's Mystery Box edition.
Ops 4.
Black Ops 4, what'd I say?
2.
That was a better game.
Yeah, look, it's like a
was.
it's like a shield.
Yeah.
It's like a shield, but they made it into 4
The old
lines.
design of the Mystery Box was way cooler.
Whoa, that's okay.
Yeah. The Roman numerals.
Somebody already looks like they came on this one. I don't want to.
You said you weren't going to do this
that it was
anymore.
over. Yeah, so you do you, Borderlands. All right, so who here likes toys?
What kind of toys?
Well, first of all, what's a toys? Is that a car?
I'm at Fun Time Toys. Not that kind of fun time.
One from like 20 photos ago?
Yeah, the vibrating one.
But who here likes expensive toys?
Like the vibrating
Your
one.
your hand is currently on one of my expensive toys.
Oh.
The laptop.
Okay.
That was the joke. Sorry. Yeah.
Here's some pretty good listings for some price things.
Yeah, his penis. Is that what you said?
You guys happy?
I was talking around.
So most of these categories,
Sorry,
most of these
I heard
apparently fall in the
penis and
category of remote control things. But I guess I missed the memo in that somewhere where gamers love to pilot that kind of shit. So we got 3 of these coming up. The first is Black Ops, cutely titled Prestige Edition. So I told you we weren't done with that series, where you could terrify the absolute fuck out of your neighbors with a tiny remote control car literally modeled to look like a moving bomb.
What in the fuck?
RCXD.
I guarantee you would probably get thrown in Guantanamo Bay if you tried to bring this thing anywhere near an airport and just drove it around.
Does it tick?
It probably makes some noise of the...
It makes an RC noise.
Yeah. It's just that nice high-pitched sort of squeal.
Do you know how much is this?
This one was I think we'll get into it, but I think this was like around 150, which is why it's not good. So we I want to include in this Black Ops 2, this again at the series with its flying drone.
Nice. See, that's cool though.
In its hardened edition. No, it's cool. This will
drones
follow
are
years
cool.
later. I wouldn't fly this near an airport either.
No, you don't fly anything near an airport.
I guess that's smart.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't fly that plane, but and speaking of flying shit, this is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell's Blacklist Paladin Aircraft Edition. Another returning series where Ubisoft wanted to get into the sky with Activision with their big ass 3-channel twin engine flyable plane.
That was the plane.
It's fucking stupid.
That is the plane.
Why?
That was the plane from the game where your base was with all the bad voice acting.
No, I don't know. Bro, Burn Splinter Cell
suck
Blacklist.
it, Tom Clancy.
Yeah, where are you at now?
Didn't Driz, you played the co-op of this where at the very end of the game, spoilers, you have to kill each other? That
was Conviction.
Fuck, okay, that was Conviction. All right, my bad. I don't know much about Blacklist. Conviction I knew about. But so I don't actually know how easy this thing was to fly, but a lot of these probably ended up getting busted. And so enough remote control shit because it's time to get into this is 2009's Talk of the Town. Everybody remember this. Our winner of this category and the last mention of Call of Duty for the day is Modern Warfare 2's Prestige Edition, which I guess they used that name more than once. So for $159.99, you could get yourself a pair of real working night vision goggles and mount them to the top of. They said that the bust is of character Soap. I guess he's got that mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks.
You play fucking video games?
No, I played through all this whole series. It's just I don't know. It's a really nondescript face on that thing.
That's fair.
Yeah, you put this on your cat put it over top of the Master Chief helmet. So when you weren't using this to chase that cat with the helmet around or to spy on your sister's sleepover party or whatever.
Whoa! We're not glossing over that.
Done with the pervy shit.
I don't have a sister. I think it's
yeah, anymore.
What?
it also came with an HD remake of Call of Duty 1, but who cares about that? Working night vision goggles.
I took that, my screen cleaner, and hung the tree up near
Yeah, you use those panties to wipe off the night vision goggles.
It gets steamy in there.
How many people do you think broke those things turning them on in the day? Like in the middle of the daytime?
Everybody.
You stepbrothers yourself. I did that before by accident once. So next up is a category that I would straight up like to call lies.
Right.
And this is a fun one. We're going to compare and contrast 2 images together: expectation versus reality. The first is the collector's edition of Dead Space 2, where it was supposed to come with what they called a replica of the plasma cutter, that cool ass fucking
You
gun
mean
that
the only
Isaac
gun
Clarke
you need
uses.
to use the entire
Pretty
video
much.
game?
It's a killer thing. It's a killer design. And here's what a lot of people thought they were getting. Looks kind of cool, right? And here's what they got. A tiny, cheap 3D printed piece of junk that wasn't even painted, and it was not even big enough to hold in your hand.
Wait, who made Dead Space?
EA.
EA published that.
Can't believe they lied to people. They're such a trustworthy company.
It all broke and ended here. Yeah, it began and so. And you guys might remember this one from the internet a while back, 'cause people were talking about this for a while. This is the $200 collector's edition of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and which bundled together some statuettes of their finest heroes: Iron Man, Chun-Li, Mega Man X, and Captain Marvel, as well as a lit case of the famous Infinity Stones, looking all cool. A truly iconic image considering the film franchise right now, right? But who wouldn't want?
Yeah, shout out to the MCU. They need the press.
need it,
We got you
yeah.
covered here.
I thought this would be relevant. So here's the picture of the Infinity Stones from that ad. That's what you thought you're getting? You ready for Easter?
If the next image is just Dragon Balls.
Oh, they went. You guys, this was the reality. Boop.
Yeah, somebody hot glued these before they got delivered.
You said you were gonna
Please
stop.
I'm so sorry. Well, then stop making images look like they got game on.
You're colorblind.
No, clearly these two are the same color, okay?
It's close. I'll give that to you.
It's mind, gray. Soul, gray. Courage, power, time, and
So these these were not even removable, by the way. They were like glued into that case.
they're not glued.
Yeah, they were hot glued into that case. But you want to know what neither of those had? They didn't have a multi-million-dollar company scrambling to fix it. So I'm going to pass hosting over to Austin here to tell us the story of Fallout 76 $200 Power Armor Edition.
Woo!
All right. So, anybody know this story?
There it is.
Okay. So, yep. Fallout 76 was announced at E3 on June 10th, 2018. And it was said to contain a glow-in-the-dark map of the game's world, 24 figurines with designs based on models in the game, which there were no other NPCs in the game, so I don't know what they made figures of, but whatever. A steelbook case of the Tricentennial Edition, is that what it was called? And a wearable... They made a case to say wearable after the Halo one. A wearable power armor helmet that came in that cool canvas duffel bag that was labeled West Tech after a fictional company in the Fallout universe. And this was meant to release with the game on November 13th, 2018 for a retail price of $199.99. We all know the story. The game had a real disappointing beta, but despite this, people were still excited for it. And when the Power Armor editions finally shipped to consumers, those who pre-ordered had more than just the game to be disappointed by. Switch a pick.
It was just the Master Chief helmet.
Whoop.
Okay, so this is the bag that they got. The canvas bag they promised.
You can feel that to the touch, that picture.
Yeah, the canvas bag that they promised was less canvas and more of a nylon.
And more like a vaporwave jacket
Yeah,
material.
somebody basically cut up a puke green raincoat and very poorly sewed it into a bag shape. That's what it looked like. Obviously, people were disappointed. They started to contact Bethesda to complain throughout the coming months.
As if they didn't have enough on their plate already with the launch of that
Bethesda
game.
Bethesda's response was to very quietly go onto their website and adjust the description of the edition to say the word nylon instead of canvas, so that when people came to complain, they could just point them to the website and be like, it says nylon, but it didn't. It said canvas for like 6 months.
What do they think they are? Beyonce? Like, you can remove something from the internet and then no one can find it?
But they did that, but they did not edit the picture. So the picture still had a very nice looking canvas bag in it, but it said nylon just so they could cover their tracks. And yeah, people started to contact Bethesda wanting their money back, wanting a replacement, wanting to just yell at somebody. On November 27th, a very nice customer, I don't have the exact words here, but he contacted Bethesda and said, I'm a little disappointed. Can I maybe get a replacement or have my money back? And Bethesda outsourced the customer service to a third-party company, which was a mistake. We'll get to that later. Or right now. They responded by saying, "We're sorry for you that you aren't happy. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make."
Imagine that's your statement.
That's like the slogan for all their
We
video
took
games.
your money, but then we didn't have enough money.
Yeah. I'm assuming that person
It's
was
like a health
fired.
insurance company.
Bethesda adjusted the statement to say that they didn't switch it because it was too expensive, but they switched it to the unavailability of materials, which people make canvas shit all day. I don't know what material was unavailable. But Bethesda offered people, this is my favorite anecdote of this little story, Bethesda offered people 500 atoms of in-game currency if they were disappointed. This is about $5 worth. And the funny thing was, the same duffel bag, no, don't switch it yet.
Okay.
The same duffel bag that was in the promo image was in the game digitally, and you could buy it, but it was 700 atoms.
Oh my God.
With the currency they gave you as an apology, you couldn't even buy the fucking bag in the game, let alone get a new bag that you wanted. Then
It gets better.
people did some digging, and it was revealed 3 days later, after this statement was released, that Bethesda did indeed have the material to make canvas bags, but instead of putting them in the special editions, they mailed them out to influencers, YouTubers, Twitch streamers.
Anybody with a high enough following got
Yep.
that sweet bag.
So instead of sending it out to the people with special editions, they sent it out to the influencers. This obviously angered everybody because every statement they had, people just had an answer for it right away. So on December 3rd of that year, Bethesda finally offered to replace the old bag with the one originally promised. But our story's not done there. On December 5th, said third-party customer service website accidentally broke for a period of 45 minutes. I remember this. We were talking about this. We were watching the Game Awards, remember? And I brought this up on Reddit.
Yeah.
123 support tickets were sent in this time, and people were getting emails about support tickets that were not theirs. One Reddit user posted and claimed that he was receiving everybody's support emails sent in this time period. He had access to people's names, emails, home addresses, and the last 4 digits of everyone's credit card. What? And had the ability to open, close, and edit tickets.
Oh my God.
Luckily, that didn't go into the wrong hands.
Yeah, luckily
Yeah.
the guy that this happened to was real cool about it, and he just posted on the Fallout 76 subreddit and was like, "Hey, so I have all your information. Bethesda, if you're
I
listening,
want
you might
100
want to
canvas bags.
you might want to do something about this." So yeah, Bethesda eventually fixed that.
Did they?
And then kind of swept that under the rug. But wait, there's more. After all of this, it was announced 1 week later that the bags were in production and everybody had worked out their support tickets to get their replacements. But they said it would take around 4 to 6 months to make and ship the bags. And
They never had them.
to this day, I could not find any evidence of anybody that has actually received their replacement. Just a bunch of threads of people complaining about not receiving their replacement.
I was going to say, they're probably hoping people forget, just like that game.
Yeah. But after, so we're about 5 months out from when they announced that.
Yeah.
Here at this recording. But the people who were affected got an additional 500 atoms.
Oh.
As another sorry for Bethesda fucking up. So now they could finally own the bag in the game.
And have 300 to spare.
No, yeah, they're just hoarding bags there. All right, so with that, we're up to our top 7, and in here there are no more categories, just 7 single titles with fucking crazy special editions. All that from here on out, just to warm up. So this is where the real meat is going to be.
Top 7. Nice
Top
even
7.
number
Nice
for the
even number.
final 7.
So this first one I actually didn't know existed until I found it. With company Crytek finishing work on Crysis 2, what better time to capitalize on the Can I Play Crysis joke made famous by the first game by announcing and releasing the Crysis 2 Maximum Graphics Edition, which a special bundle in association with NVIDIA, of course, that gave you the technically demanding title with a brand new GeForce GTX 560 Ti.
You can play and finish this game in
Wait,
3
wait,
hours and
hold
then
on.
mine Bitcoin for the rest of your life.
Hold on, hold
Special
on.
edition.
They called it the Maximum Graphics Edition and then gave people a 560 Ti.
I mean, when did Crysis 2 come out? Was that...
There were better graphics cards at the time, is all I'm saying.
This was, I think people tried to price this out. This was at a $299.99 for this one. I guess before like high-end graphics cards really started to get up there with the Bitcoin bubble. Mm-hmm. But sorry, I keep leaning away from the mic there. This is $10 less. People dug than buying the 2 items separately, so not so bad. Plus,
They couldn't even throw the game in for free?
No, but it did come with a T-shirt and a poster.
Oh, okay.
That guy's got the plastic Batarang for sure.
I mostly just wanted to put this on here to show how popular of an idea this would later become with many publishers. Now you pretty much can't get a good GPU these days without it having some sort of like code of a pack-in for various AAA games, which is cool. But as far as retail special edition bundles go, this was actually like one of the few that I've seen that was like on the shelves, like sitting on the shelves, which I just thought was interesting.
The Crysis one?
With a disc inside.
Yeah. I remember seeing it.
Also, I assume this game could run this card could run the game at max settings at the time. I'm not entirely sure. If it couldn't, that
would follow with the whole name being the Maximum Graphics Edition.
I would hope
It is
so.
a 560 Ti. I had one of those
You
things.
could run it at high.
I couldn't run games on Maximum that came out years after Crysis 2.
So we're gonna go back to Resident Evil for this one, in the special edition conversation again, because this is time for everyone's favorite title in the series, Resident Evil 6, and it's Platinum Edition, as they called it. It's hard to tell from that picture, I know. But we'll see. This was released exclusively in Japan, although fans from all over the world were very much welcome to order it if they so chose.
I can't read it, but I'm assuming it's a course in graphic design and what not to do. Look at this horrible fucking picture.
This package came with a copy of the game for either 360 or PS3, 4 cell phone cases themed after characters, Chris, Leon, Jake, and a special secret case, which already an odd incentive, I guess, because...
Who was it?
I don't remember. I think it was just like one of the bad creatures from the game. But what's weird is like they never put in any of the press release statements what model phone it was even for, and also what non-drug dealer owns 4 phones.
Yeah,
Why would you need 4 fucking phone cases?
Why would you want 4 phone cases?
I don't know, but that junk is whatever. Because
Why would you want one Resident Evil phone case?
Because this is all about that sweet. This is all about that sweet replica jacket that Leon's wearing. Based off the one from this game. So available.
That doesn't look like the same jacket.
That's what. Well, hey, this is what you're getting.
Is that leather or suede? I can't tell.
It's real leather, actual fine soft leather, as they said. And this was available from small to extra large. I'm sure many fans, though, including myself, would have much preferred the brown puffy jacket from Resident Evil 4. But I digress. So we're gonna play a game here. How much do you think the copy of that was? All it was the game, 4 cell phone cases, and a leather jacket.
6,000 yen.
That's like $6, isn't it?
How the fuck is that shit?
Or $600.
$6.
For
All right,
what? For the jacket?
No, just for the whole thing. What do you say?
I think you're
$350?
I think you're missing.
A zero there? Well, regardless, none of you said $1,240.
Holy shit.
That's what it translates to, 105.
Wait, go back one image. I'm assuming all the money goes to this here for Take It Back Sunday, because that's what this guy looks like.
But yeah, plus tax and shipping, you could look like Leon's worst venture into the franchise. Though it's a pretty dope jacket. Though also, I actually like Resident Evil 6, so I get a lot of shit for that.
All right, that's the show, everybody.
I think it's fun. Now, I couldn't find much evidence of folks who actually went out of their way to buy these jackets, but they were only limited to 5,000 units of these things. For those that couldn't afford it, though, you could still buy one of the 25 other special editions of this masterpiece. There were fucking so many versions of this game in like every country. It was ridiculous. But we're gonna get weird and kind of gross. Remember
Oh,
when
now we're gonna get gross.
Yeah,
We've
remember
been talking
pervy
about
games?
coming on action figures for like a half an hour.
I'm bringing it back. Not that, but I'm bringing back gross shit. So this is gonna be a weird one. So this is probably the oldest. This is the oldest. It's definitely the oldest entry on our list, and probably this is the oldest entry on the list, and also our last tribute to Japan. So
Oh, no.
pour one out. I'm going to tell you guys the tale of the limited edition of one's Enemy Zero. This was a Second Saturn.
Never heard of it.
So this is a 1996 survival horror title for the Saturn.
Also starring a white guy whose hair is parted down the middle.
Really, that was a popular thing. This apparently is in the D series of games.
Hell yeah.
That's what they. Starring, apparently, the main protagonist was Jill Cuniff of the band Lucius Jackson. If anybody heard of that band?
Nope.
No? Nobody heard of that band?
I don't collect
All right.
tapes.
So this was. Fuck off. So this is developed by Warp. Lead designer, his name was Kenji Ino. I think I'm saying that right. So what better way to reveal this game than at the 1996 Tokyo Game Show with... all right, so who here remembers Booth Babes?
Booth Babes?
Anybody remembers Booth Babes? Mm-hmm. What an industry back then, right?
Hey, that's Jessica. Google autofilled it.
Also, I don't know why that's in Spanish. I didn't... So it wasn't long after the premiere that Warp announced that the most exclusive limited edition ever made at the time would only be the first 20 people could buy it. And for $2,000, they could get all of this stuff for them. And I'm going to read through this massive list of items from, saving the most Japanese one for last.
All right.
All right, so you guys ready? So for $2,000, this package contained a copy of the regular special edition of the game, a towel embroidered with the game's logo, a model of an enemy corpse, compete with bodily liquid. I know it's getting weird already, I know. I assume that meant fake blood, but I'm just reading this directly from the site.
Yeah, it's just
A metallic...
That's probably translated.
Maybe, yeah, it probably is. A metallic bookmark, a flyer, and a ticket to the Enemy Zero art exhibit, which I guess was held back in '96. It was hard to find. A set of press releases, a VHS tape of music clips. The lead designer was also a musician. A large 3D... You want to read that word?
Lenticular.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
That's those things where you you move it back and forth and the picture changes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. A set of stickers, an Enemy Zero shirt, a replica of the gun that main character Lara uses in the game, actual design docs from the development, which is kind of bizarre but cool, floppy disks, envelopes, and paperback. Like, this is all shit that was like, they all had the company logo on it. Like, it was just stuff around their office, I guess, that they just threw in. You got a
Get that, throwing that pencil.
You got a Sega Saturn stamped CDR.
They just went into the office and took the desk and just went like that into a box and
into
mailed
these
it to
big
you.
metal boxes. And finally, for the ultimate price, you got a full tight leather outfit worn by one of the companion girls hired to model at the Tokyo Game Show official booth.
There you go, Matt. There's your used clothing.
Yeah. So you got the bodysuit, hat, gloves, tights, the badge, and earrings that were all included in. Yeah.
So many great smells in that box.
And
Oh God.
icing on the cake, by the way, all of this would be hand delivered in that crate by Kenji Ino himself. He would go to your house and give you this used clothing.
How many of them were there? 20?
20. There were 20 booth babes.
So what if you ordered it somewhere, he had to fly to LA to hand deliver this to somebody, or you couldn't get it in America?
I think it was probably
maybe.
Japan only, but
No,
Japan's
I mean,
not a super small country.
Maybe, yeah.
You gotta
I
take
don't
the
know.
train with this big giant metal box full of used clothes and floppy disks.
Yeah.
This act even. Where's the rest of the girl? This act would even lead to them having their own page in the Guinness Book of World Records, having the most exclusive special edition before being broken later by our top 4. And in case you weren't creeped out enough thinking that was a different time, in 2009, box number 8, because they were numbered, resold on Yahoo auctions for $3,414.58.
Yahoo auction.
That's a good question.
This was the 90s,
and also, who's
Chris.
gonna buy
2009.
used-
Never mind.
used
Who's
clothing?
gonna buy a used latex outfit with all the smells gone already?
The guy who bought it took it out and wore it a couple times. And put it back in.
So for these top 4 titles, I believe that they only have one edition each. Like more ridiculous than the last, but there was only one offered. So you had your chance to get it while it was hot, and then it was gone. And we're also going to hit the tier now of high rollers only. This shit is about to become expensive as college, depending on where you went to
Pretty
college.
expensive.
Somehow less worthless, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So if you didn't know what that last game was, odds are you probably haven't heard of this one either.
All right.
Because I hadn't until this popped up during my research. So I'm going to allow me to introduce you all to the most, I guess it's even more obscure on our list. This is a game called Crater. Oh, no shit. That's the eBay, that's the fucking Yahoo auction of the dude that fucking bought. Sorry. Anyway, this is Crater.
I had this game.
You did?
Yeah.
How was it?
I don't remember. I remember that box art, though.
Yeah?
No, this
That
is.
box art looks like it's out of the 90s.
This looks
Yeah,
like
what?
Borderlands box art.
So,
Oh, no. It was on Steam.
yeah.
That's where I saw the box art. I don't
Okay,
have
that
this
makes
game.
sense. So this is a game
Yeah.
called Crater. It was led by lead designer Victor Magnusson. Apparently, it's
Is he Swedish?
yeah, I guess so.
that makes sense.
he is, because that's going to play into our story later. Apparently, this is a squad-based RTS role-playing game. Not exactly up my alley, if you know me. It's fine. It was supposed to be set in a post-apocalyptic Sweden. There you go.
It's not up your alley, but more like putting a vibrating controller on your taint and playing Tetris. Is that more up your alley?
More than tactical squad-based RTS role-playing games. Yeah. It's set in post-apocalyptic Sweden. Sounds kind of cool. I don't know. This was released, as also mentioned, it was back on Steam. This is 2012. It was on the PC. It did not review that great, but, the team that made this, by the way, is an indie studio called Fat Shark.
Why have I heard of them?
Because they were responsible for that terrible, terrible Escape Dead Island game.
Oh, okay.
And also, later on, they went to do Vermintide 1 and 2.
Yes, that's why I recognize
Yeah,
them.
so all
Awesome
over,
games.
so all over in terms of quality, this company, I guess.
Good comeback.
Depending on what you're looking for, so it's really weird. So anyway, the game itself may not have been, may have been forgotten, but not its special Victor edition.
What?
Is that a bunch of pots and pans?
Yes. So
This looks like an ad I would ignore on an obscure pornography website.
So
What am I on crack.com?
For $10,000, you got the game and one other thing. That lead designer I mentioned, turned out he was also a world-class cook. And for the tiny asking price of 10 grand or 8,000 euros, the Swedish chef would come right to your house regardless of where you lived.
But the Swedish chef.
Regardless of where you lived in the whole world, deliver the game just like our last guy and prepare you a private personal meal. And he would play the game with you after too.
That's so awkward.
When did this game come out? It's probably before autistic
2012.
people had
2012.
money. Because who else is buying this?
So it's not exactly what you want, though. You can't. The self-proclaimed master cook would offer you just these options. You couldn't tell him to make anything you want. You couldn't pay $10,000 and tell him to make you a mean PB&J. That's what I would do.
That's an expensive PB&J.
The buyer can
I would tell him to come with a cow that's alive
for
and
10
cook
grand.
the whole thing.
Flash fry this baby. Aqua Teen
No, you tell him
fans,
to
I
pick-
assume all of you.
He tells you to pick you up like McDonald's on the way.
Bring it down
I
so
want
I
you to
can
bring in a
eject the
live
cheese.
crocodile, kill it in front of me, and then cook it.
So the buyer could either opt for a mystery dish or choose from the Viking burger, Swedish meatballs, and Austin, you want to read that for me?
Fisketra?
Pita burger, special.
That sounds like fermented fish because he's Swedish.
Okay.
In which case, I might have tried that. It's disgusting. In case anybody was wondering, fermented fish, not that great.
And what was the last one? Esther or Preto pizza?
Yeah, that sounds Italian. I'm offended.
And if that's too much for you, they did have a 25% off coupon available after the package went unsold.
Yeah, no shit, it went unsold.
Unfortunately,
What a dumb fucking idea.
I could not find any evidence that anyone bought this edition for their meeting with Victor. At the time of this reading, the link on that site now is fully dead.
Yeah, I'm sure. This is
Yeah.
a guy who just had money and he was like, I'm going to make a video game.
So, now we're on to racing games. Racing games can probably get pretty expensive for that full setup, right? Like, especially those driving sims. You want that racing wheel. You want those pedals. You want that shifter. Maybe an air freshener
Nice.
for the ambience. But what do you do when just playing the video game isn't enough for that experience anymore?
You put the, you know what you do.
This is enter Grid 2's Mono Edition. So
Is that to scale? is
Very
the car the size
giant
of a
yeah, it's
PlayStation
a
3
real
box.
big PS3 game.
Yeah.
So it's out of the basement and onto the racetrack with the special UK exclusive bundle that grants your very own grid-themed BAC Mono supercar. Conrad, you know a lot about this car? No.
In case it didn't pick up, it was a resounding no.
And here's the funny thing is you didn't just get this car. You would also get a tour of the actual BAC factory where they would customize your 170 miles per hour ride and get your own decorated helmet, race suit, gloves, and boots. And company Codemasters didn't just skimp there. You also got a brand new PlayStation 3. Yeah. Yeah, so final asking price for this, by the way, was £125,000 or $190,000, making it.
That's honestly not the worst for a car that goes 170 miles an hour, considering like the other cars of that price
making
range.
it again the most expensive video game edition ever, until our top two, of course. But unlike our Victor edition, right there, this guy.
Fucking idiot.
This thing actually
I'd
sold.
rather the real Swedish chef make me a meal, and then I'll pay $10,000.
But no, unlike our pal Victor here, though, like this actually sold, and guess who? This sold to a man named Joel Thomas Zimmerman, and for anyone who doesn't know, Deadmau5, better why it is known as. Yeah.
Excuse me, what's his name?
Better what?
Deadma 5.
Thank you.
Deadmau 5.
Yeah.
Deadmau 5.
Deadmau 5.
Yeah, so, the DJ not only grabbed the listing rather quickly, but went on to have his other supercar at the BAC factory that he was taking like a tour of painted into this neon
God.
cat monstrosity while on tour there.
I love memes, man. Remember them? Well, they're still going on, but
It must be nice to be rich, right? When a fucking meme can affect your major life decisions like that.
yeah. You know what this Lamborghini could use? A Pop-Tart cat.
So, what about the rest of those people that have more money to burn, right? Welcome the Dying Light My Apocalypse Edition.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, these preambles aren't going to do these entries justice anymore. So,
Yes.
Dying Light, of course, being the much revered spiritual successor to Dead Island with its open world zombie survival fighting. Developer Techland and publisher Warner Brothers, they're back again after that fetus statue, to decide to announce their one-of-a-kind, again, UK exclusive package
Man,
that
the Brits
includes
get all the good
the
stuff.
following. I think the best way to do this one is to read them off just like that Enemy Zero bundle. So here's what you got in this thing. You got 4 signed Steelbox editions of the game. I assume to share with your friends. It's a 4-player co-op game, after all. 2 top-of-the-line Razer Tiamat headphones, which I guess they couldn't spring for that extra 2 for your other 2 friends. So I guess you fight over it. 4 copies of the game, 2 headphones. But fuck all that, because this is where, that's just stupid. That's just the game. This is where it gets real. A round trip to Wrocław, Poland, to meet and party with the dev team, where they would play a special match in the game with you and have your face scanned put into the game on a Night Hunter character model. I assume that's an enemy in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the zombies that come out at night.
Okay.
They're hard to kill.
Do they hunt? Do they hunt you?
They do hunt at night.
All right.
The name is self-explanatory.
Then they will give you zombie avoidance parkour lessons with a company called Ampersound. The team behind that, there's like a famous viral POV video that was used to promote this game. And lastly, they will lead you to this ugly-ass, custom-built, zombie-proof, I gotta keep doing air quotes, shelter provided by Tiger Log Cabins, complete with a fully equipped amenities like a new TV, an Xbox One, a surround sound system, a Dying Light-branded night vision goggles, a pair of adult diapers, which, not a horror game, but okay.
No, it's the adult diapers so that you can shit while you're fighting zombies.
Oh, all right. And a human-sized volatile figurine to, quote, use as a deterrent on human raiders. And also all women, I assume. But, yeah.
What the fuck are these people doing?
All right, so, last guessing game of the
Where
day.
does this go? At your house?
You already know it's more than that car, but how much do you guys think that this cost then?
It's more than the car?
It's more than the $190,000 supercar.
$421,000.
300K.
$500,000.
Well, if you guessed 250,000 pounds or $386,000, that could have all been yours.
Did anybody buy this?
I'll get there. Now, I know what you're all thinking. No one is actually going to buy this, like you said, right? Why would anybody buy it?
Dead mouse.
Yeah, Dead Mouse bought it again. Yeah, drove his car into that shelter. Well, you're right. Nobody bought it.
Really?
Yeah. So, Warner Brothers decided to amp it up with another massive bundle, somehow even more stupid.
For Dying Light.
Yeah, for the same game. Meet the Spotlight Edition in conjunction with the launch of the game's expansion, The Following. And in
Did this ever come out?
So in here was another 4 copies of the game, all with the DLC and a promised supporting role in the fucking Dying Light movie.
Oh my god.
Included in that were personal acting lessons from Roger Craig Smith, voice of Resident Evil's Claire Redfield, Chris Redfield, Assassin's Creed's Ezio, and of course the world's best, Sonic the Hedgehog. So in this, you also got a screening tour with first-class flights, an on-set trainer stuntman, who would train you for your role in this film, an off-road driving course, a special effects makeup session, an original copy of the film script for you to have after the filming wraps up, and 10 VIP tickets to the opening night of the film, and to be a voice in the upcoming expansion of the game. Now,
this is such a weird thing, like so geared towards somebody who's like a fan of the game.
Yeah.
When in reality, people who can afford this like can just get it all for free.
You're the voice of a character in the game, but the character's name is Kyle, and how do they know a man bought this? Or was gonna buy this?
Well, first of all,
that's a real good point.
Because a woman would only have $7,000, not $10,000 to buy this. That's why.
We didn't get to the price yet. It's not
No, so here's the thing. This was to be sold for $10 million.
Wait, what? Okay, so I meant $7 million.
Which would have obviously been the #1 spot with a bullet, except from what I could tell, considering this movie obviously never came to be, it does not look like this edition was ever actually up for sale at any point. So I'm afraid that it's...
finance the movie you could be in.
Yeah. So I'm afraid that this entry is disqualified, making our second place winner that My Apocalypse edition or whatever.
Yeah.
So, thanks for that.
Fucking stupid.
But hey,
they're just playing with us. That's all these rich people are doing.
But who knows
Buy
what
a shelter. We'll put an action figure as big as you inside. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you inside of it. Sorry.
But who knows what the special editions of Dying Light 2 will bring? So maybe for $1 billion they'll blow up the earth and turn it into a real wasteland, just like the game.
They'll do it for free.
They're already doing it. All right, everyone. Here it is, and I know. Sorry that this is what you've all been anxiously waiting for me to read this one, because it also goes without saying that this specific bundle was definitely the inspiration for this whole episode. So we're just gonna get right into it. Saints Row. This is a series almost solely dedicated to the outrageous, right? And where they would outdo other titles with their over-the-top gameplay, why not beat them in the special edition insanity as well? Now, the franchise certainly has been no stranger to weird collector versions before. Saints Row 2 had an Australian New Zealand special edition that came with a gold gun box, bullet, USB flash drive, and a basketball jersey. While
The New Zealand edition came with a gold gun.
Oh, God. Come on, man.
What?
I'm
just saying, whoever bought it doesn't have it anymore.
While Saints Row 3 had two editions, one in Europe that came with cufflink shades and a bullet-shaped ice tray, and then the American Platinum Pack that came bundled with a custom headset that would auto-tune your voice with a built-in vocoder, like character Zemos from the game. But with those not being enough, on August 9th, 2013, publisher Deep Silver announced for the follow-up sequel, Saints Row 4's ludicrously named Super Dangerous Wad Wad Edition, a $1 million ultimate special bundle for the game, limited to one insanely rich, weird individual who was looking to get the following items all in one handy transaction. This $1 million would get you Saints Row 4, the Commander-in-Chief edition. Remember, you played as the president in that game.
Yeah. I love that. Isn't that the one that opens with cure cancer or feed the hungry forever?
Yeah. And I remember if you choose the cancer one, you're like, cancer's had a good run. It's pretty good. And I assume all the DLC, season pass, all that stuff. Then you got a.
That'd be great if you still had to pay for the DLC.
Yeah, you still had to buy the season pass. So the Virgin Galactic a space flight. This was one of the things that came in. And for those who don't know or aren't totally clear on what this is, it is literally a 90-minute venture at almost 2,500 miles per hour into the upper atmosphere around Earth, right on the edge of where outer space begins, that will simulate complete weightlessness. It is for the passenger, and this is for passengers, whoever wants to do it. A single ticket on the official website, by the way, for this, you can go on there right now, is $250,000.
Nice. I once watched Richard Branson parachute into a concert. I'm not even joking. It was with now insane person Tom DeLonge.
Wait, you were there too?
Yeah.
I was there.
Was that Virgin Fest, right?
Yeah,
or Free
and
Fest?
he parachuted onto the roof
of the
place,
building, yeah.
And then popped a bottle of champagne
Yo, you
with
were
Tom
there?
DeLonge. Yeah.
Yo, you were there?
Yeah.
Look at this shit. Can you believe
you were
these
there,
assholes?
It's a free show.
So
Blank or Angels and Airwaves?
It was
Blank-
Blank,
it was Blank.
and
It was Blank.
Weezer, right?
Blank and
Close it
Weezer
out, yeah.
and the Bravery.
Two now horrible bands.
That's true. So this was the most expensive thing on the list here. The other things that you got on here, by the way, this was a full-sized replica dubstep gun, for which the studio videos that they shared is exactly what it sounds like. Modeled after the one in the game, you can finally blast everyone out of your office with Skrillex. They literally constructed. There's only one of a kind, and so I can't price how much this costs. So, who knows?
No, take a shot at it though.
For that,
Just kidding. Just go.
I think it's less than the space plate.
I'm pretty sure John could make one of those.
Yeah, John, you want to make a dubstep gun for us? He left. I hope he listens to this later.
He's not gonna.
won't.
I'm going home to make it right now.
So then you got something called a hostage rescue experience. That's what it says in there. This one was rather difficult to look into, as they didn't give a specific price or a different place or company on the release, but most researchers theorized that this was handled by Virgin as well. For their offer for that was an entire staged paintball or airsoft game where you could play as the rescuer of a guest of your choice. I don't know. That one is odd because it's no longer listed on their website, but as an experience to sign up for. But I guess it's like you could bring a friend or somebody and then rescue them in a fake.
That's one of Virgin's lesser-known services.
Yeah. In this, you also got plastic surgery,
What?
which is, not sure what the limitations are on that, but there's quite a lot you could do there, I suppose, if you wanted, as long as it was all in one procedure.
Yeah, so you got...
Hair transplant, the Tommy Top, the Dick enlargement. all-
Yeah.
Put the dick on your forehead. Then you got, according to this, you got a day at training camp. Again, had to break this down. This is through Virgin. It's safe to assume, anyway, that this is kind of what you think it is. It's a day of classes based around firearms and physical training where they show you gadgets and help educate you on espionage tactics.
Spies,
Who knows?
notorious for their 1 day of training.
That bundle is still available on their site, by the way, for any of you guys that want to train. I don't know. The next one is a shopping spree with a personal shopper to, quote, create the ultimate Planet Saints capsule wardrobe, where the diving... It's apparently it says, people who, like, looked into this, that the shopping spree was up to $39,000. So I guess you would... you could go buy clothes and try and rack that up as high as you could.
Just go to like.
Keep in mind, to get this, you already have to have $1 million.
To blow away on this fucking game. Then you got a 7-night stay in the top royal suite at the, I'm not going to pronounce, in Dubai.
Burj Al Arab.
Thank you. And first class flights for 2. There it is right there.
Is that the rotating one?
No, so I don't know. It doesn't look like it rotates.
Is that the one that... No, they're in the
You're
background.
talking-
That's the one
you're-
that
the one all the way in the back there.
Tom Cruise climbs.
In Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So that's the highest. That's the highest building or the tallest building in the world.
That's the Burj Khalifa.
Burj
right?
Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa. I believe the room that they offer for this is the highest room
What's up with
available.
Tom Cruise? All right, go on.
I got a documentary you should watch. Then you also got a 7-night for 2 stay at the Jefferson Hotel in Washington, D.C. with another
Thomas
first-class
Jefferson
flights.
built it. I'm just rolling
Who
him out
do you
now.
think built it? You know what Jefferson had? Help.
All right, that's it. That's a
I
little too
get it.
far. Yeah.
That's just history. I'm not. Then you got a brand new Lamborghini
Gallardo.
Really?
Gallardo.
You got a Lamborghini Gelato with a 1 year's membership to the E23 Super Car Club. Not exactly sure what that is. But the car itself is also worth $250,000 like the space flight.
Was that in Fast and the Furious?
Probably. It's in
All
Need
right.
for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Does that
Well,
count?
why is there no Fast and the Furious video game?
There is.
Oh,
Then there's an
really?
expansion for Forza.
All right.
No, there's also a Fast and Furious game. It's
Apparently
terrible.
it's terrible. Yeah. Is that the Showdown or
I
something?
mean, yeah, apparently.
right.
Who would play that?
And kind of cheeky here, but with this Lamborghini, by the way, they also gave you a nice little Toyota Prius.
Because most of the time, since the Italians made your Lamborghini, it'll be broke down. So you'll be driving this Toyota.
But just to throw on top of this, by the way, you know what they gave you with the Prius? A year's worth of insurance.
A whole year's?
A whole year's. Now, I don't know if they gave you insurance in the Lamborghini. I'm sure that would...
That would be way more expensive.
Way more. Now this whole thing is obviously joke. I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due. I mean, it was a good it was good marketing and a pretty hilarious mockery of special editions and of games in general. Most importantly, though, this was available to buy through game.co.uk, the same site where those fucking Dying Light editions were on. So I don't know. I guess that's just what that company does. But yeah, they were prepared for it, and it was later revealed on a stream that they didn't exactly intend on anyone to take them up on it, but if some millionaire did pull the trigger, they would have had to deliver.
Yeah.
Yes, but here's the interesting thing, though. It wasn't long after the reveal of this thing that people started to break down the cost of all of these absurd items. That's how I got a lot of those numbers when I was running through this thing. And the fine print read that the buyer would have to take all of the items, no substitutions or cash equivalents. Which, if you have $1 million, I guess that probably wouldn't be asking, much for you anyway. But on the same day that this thing was revealed, Forbes and Ars Technica attempted to blast the word out that it may not even be worth it for those people rich enough to afford it. So this will bring us to our final guessing game of the night here. And I think I said that earlier, so I lied. Another guessing game. Without going over, what do you guys think the value of all these items added up together actually was? That's pretty close. You guys are actually in a pretty good vicinity. I'm very surprised.
651.
So, according to the Forbes article,
You remember that show? It was on TV.
which one?
Price is Right.
Yep. I never heard of it. Is that the sequel to the Drew Carey show? No. So it was $629,974.69.
Nice. That's a sex number.
With the vast, majority, by the way, being the flight and the luxury car. Now, this doesn't include taxes, but honestly, taxes on this shit were most likely going to fuck you over anyway. Of course, with the word getting out, the Super Dangerous Wad Wad edition went unsold, leaving the most expensive video game edition ever purchased by an individual to Deadmau5 said that he could finally add that mono to his collection of stupid meme cars. So, you can thank the world for that. But that's going to do it for tonight. That's our episode. Thank you so much for everyone coming out. We'll do our plugs of following us on stuff. A lot of research and writing went into this, so thank you sincerely for everybody for coming out and listening to it and laughing with us. Shout out to collectorsedition.org for help finding a lot of this product information, and of course to the Volume Cafe for having us all tonight, all of you that came out to play Smash Brothers, to Kristen also for hosting, to Jason for sound and everything, everyone who set this up, Dom for making the flyer, anyone else that helped spread the word or shared the post and even traveled down here from far up north. What is it? I was going to say to the winner of the tournament, but I don't think they're here, so. But this episode will probably go live in about a month or two. If you wanted to hear yourselves, listen to it again. A new episode will still be out this Friday. Hang out with us, and I think that's it. I think that's all. It'd be cool to
you want me to do plugs?
You can do plugs.
All right.
For any of those who don't know yet.
Oh, my jewel sticks to the thing.
Oh, right. Fuck, we could have done that the whole time? It could have been so much cooler.
If you're not already, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Hot Button Cast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, any of that other shit. You knocked it off.
It didn't work.
You got to be real still. But it'd be zen.
Yeah.
We have a website now.
We do. This guy built it.
Hotbuttoncast.com. Check it out.
Yeah,
for all future live events that we might do. Maybe, probably not. Who knows? And yeah. Is that it? Did I miss anything?
I think that's it.
Follow us on YouTube so that I can change the goddamn fucking URL.
You want to rant about YouTube for a second?
Fuck you, Google. That's all I have to say.
And finally, shout out to God, number one. I mean, everybody give it up for God.
Everybody give it up for Satan.
Yeah!
All right.
Just as
Tell
dumb
yourselves.
to worship
With that-
him, you fucking shills, just because it's opposite.
We are out.